And so when at that point, they transferred me off to Coney Island. I did 4 months at Coney Island, which we called the summer detail, which was another scene. And then I eventually came back to the 7.5, and I came back like tarnished. No one would work with me. They were afraid to work with me. I was supposedly wearing a wire. There was a lot of accusations slung my way. And so now I found myself in a really awkward position, right? Here I am robbing everybody in the fucking street, and I can't get anyone to work with me, not because I'm robbing anyone in the street, because now they think that I'm working for internal affairs, because everybody around me has left.
You did get a new partner named Kenny.
That took a while, probably took 6 months, 8 months to get a partner. Yeah, eventually I hook up with Kenny and Urel, right.
Okay, so Kenny's your new partner, and a situation happened where you skimmed some money from someone on the street and you gave him part of the money.
Right,
So at that point, now he's in it with you.
he's in.
Okay.
Correct.
So then you meet a guy named Baron Perez.
Right. Well, I knew Baron prior to hooking up with Kenny, so to be clear, and I knew Baron in a way that wasn't so criminal. It was more like business associate. Like, he was a businessman in the community. I knew his clients were all local kingpins because they all had $20,000 systems in their cars. I mean, who the hell's got that kind of money? And with the goosenecks, people hear me say these stories: the goosenecks, the equalizers, all the big fucking woofers in the back, So those things were indicative of drug money. I mean, it's clearly. I mean, who puts $20,000 into a fucking $1,800 car? Not me.
Right. He ran a car stereo shop called Out of Sound City,
Correct.
and he knew a lot of the major drug dealers.
Correct.
And he ended up kind of linking you up with some of them.
At some point here, after Kenny and I came to him one day with a score that we made at a murder scene. We took a bunch of heroin and stuff and coke, whatever, out of the scene. I don't think we got any money, a couple of guns, and we went to see Baron with it. What were we going to do? I mean, we didn't have an outlet for this stuff. We went to see Baron. Long story short, we get beat on it. Not from Baron, but the guy, his name is Gordo. Eddie and Gordo. Anybody from Logan knows Eddie and Gordo. They're both dead, I think. Well, I don't know about Eddie. Gordo's dead. But they were the local guys for heroin in that area. Like, 40,000 a day in heroin. That's the kind of numbers they do. And so they dropped off this bag of heroin with them. It was probably $40,000 worth of heroin. He said it could take a 10 hit. This is the shit you learn, right? It could take a 10 hit. He hits it with 10, it goes bad. So now I got nothing. So now this whole thing that went down, exposure, meeting this guy, we get nothing out of it.
Okay. Well,
but it establishes the relationship with Baron beyond just business. Okay?
Right. And is it through Baron that you meet La Compania?
Yes. Yeah. So Baron tells me, listen, Mike, now that he knows that we're willing to play a little bit beyond stereo systems, he says, listen, I got a guy, he just named La Compania up on Norwood and Fulton. And he's been running, and we know the spot because we get called up there every day. He goes, there's a guy up here, and you can't do anything. The guy's selling. If you don't see him selling it, you're not getting, you don't make an arrest. So the guy said he needs some protection for the 4th of July weekend. Okay, so I said, sure. 80% of the cops are on a detail or home at a barbecue. So no one's really doing patrol on a holiday weekend because of the manpower shortages, right? So I said, I'll cover him for the weekend. And I'll do some internal research, which I couldn't do any internal research, so I made believe. Anyway, long story short, he makes it through the weekend with 1 or 2 minor bag sales out, down the block, nothing significant, and he pays us the $8,000 he owes us, but in the process, he shorts us $700. So, and that's when if you watch the documentary, the story comes up where, we started putting pressure on his location to cover the $700 shortage. I mean, you're not going to short us, If the deal's $8,000, bring the $8,000, And so that started animus between us and La Compania. First go around, you want to make sure it goes well, right? And you don't want to be a sucker and take less than you fucking put your life on the line for. So we put some pressure on them, and then they put a hit on me. So
Right. And that was a very ruthless Dominican drug gang. There
yeah,
was
they
a
had
lot of
29
murders,
murders. Yeah,
29 murders
yeah,
associated with them.
yeah.
The guy who ran it was Cello.
Cello, yeah. I
Okay.
forget his name all the time.
And because of the animosity between the $700 being shorted, he put a hit out on you.
Yes.
What was it like to have a hit put on you, but you're a cop?
It's odd because, it's like, I guess if any man had was mocked, what do? Do you go hide or do you go confront the situation, right? So, first of all, I didn't know. I respond. I get a 911 page from Baron. I show up there. He tells me the story. I go into work that day, and Kenny's not working that day. I'm working with one of these internal affairs rats that's trying to set me up. And I'm driving down Fulton Street by Norwood, and sure enough, I see his car. And I never met the guy in my life. I see his car because I knew his car. Because the car had been in Baron's shop, and Baron said, "That's the guy's car that you're protecting up on Fulton and Norwood." So I pulled him over. I don't know the guy. I never met him in my life. It's just to know that he shorted me $700. And so the exchange from the movie, pretty much exactly like that. He gave me his license registration. I threw it back in his face. I said, "You want to have me fucking killed? You want to put a hit on me?" And then bing, 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 bing. We went from there. I was praying. I was praying he had a gun on him because he was dead, but he didn't. Or didn't. I didn't see one. And so I said, if you want, you can get out of the car right now. We could do a Mexican standoff. I'll walk 10, you walk 10. We'll turn and shoot and see who wins. That's how fucking that's like it was a moment in time, right? So I just took the opportunity at that moment to. What am I gonna do? Like wait till tomorrow when I go leave work and he's got his crew sitting out front, to take me out. What do you do? So I confronted him, and turned out he called Baron up immediately after that and said, the hit's taken off, which I didn't know. So I get a page from Baron. I come to his office. He says, "Here's the $700." He said, "And the hit's off." So I said, "Oh well, there you go." It worked.
Okay. And at that point, your dealings with La Compania was pretty much over?
We're done. Yeah. You go your way, we go our way. Have a nice day. And that was agreeable. What am I gonna do? Take on a whole fucking drug organization by myself? Yeah, a little tight.